magic came to our world. Portals opened all across the planet, releasing mana and dangerous monsters on the unsuspecting population. Wonder turned to horror. Society was on the verge of collapse until heroes rose to face the catastrophe. Those fearless men and women wielded the power of mana to enter the portal worlds, plundering their treasures and slaying beasts bullets barely harmed. Through their efforts and sacrifices, mankind stepped into the future. They were called users or raiders, and they became the champions of mankind. That was more than 60 years ago. Now, mana users represent almost a fifth of mankind's surviving population, and Nestra isn't one of them. She was born without a core. In the new city of Threshold, baseline humans like her are being forced out of law enforcement. Maximum Security, or MaxSec, is one of their last holdouts, and Nestra, one of its last members. But it cannot last. With Nestra addicted to mana, and her job one of the only chances at getting close to portals, she is heading for disaster. Threshold is a mighty city, dominated by corpos and powerful users. It takes very little to become collateral damage, unless Nestra can finally figure out what's wrong with her, of course. Changeling by Mecanimus.
Perps turned east 7 streets down. They're slowing down.
Copy, Camus said. Nestra had no idea how he could keep talking. All she could do was gulp cold night air and pump her tired legs on the warm asphalt, one foot after the other, and again, hoping she would last. MaxSec armor had never been designed for running. Not like keeping up with mana users on foot was reasonable to begin with. The squad had lost them some time ago when the two shapes disappeared behind a concrete corner of the tired hab block. Only the drones would keep up until they ran out of batteries or the users managed to find a hiding hole. Nestra looked up past the drab gray walls and the tired concrete towards the shining arc of the outer highway, and then the imposing black band of Threshold City's massive kaiju wall like a collar of darkness. The sight allowed her to center herself, distract her from the exhaustion.
They've stopped near a closed portal gate, East 6105, small one.
Stibb's voice whispered in her ears. Gate status, Camus asked. The tall fucker didn't even sound winded. It was all Nestra could do not to collapse. Meanwhile, drone operator Stibbins must have been pulling files because she sounded distracted.
Permanent portal gate closed for now. Monster generation on a 9-day cycle. 3 days of purge time before they escape. Not many resources listed. Mostly mana crystals. It was pacified over a week ago by North Star Security, the owner. Oh, they're trying to wake it up.
Can they survive in there?
Portal nature and monsters class is classified information by North Star. I don't have clearance.
Camus swore into his beard. Nestra thought it was stupid. It didn't matter if the two thief users could use it or not. They clearly thought they could, or they wouldn't be feeding it mana to wake it up early. Least, Bart croaked. Least they'll be tired. Nobody stated the obvious. So would they. and mana users didn't leave baseline humans the opportunity to recover from a mistake. Nestra's grip tightened on her standard issue pacifier. If the users were low D class, the squad could probably manage. If they were in the higher ranges, then... well, had to die sometime. Might as well be tonight. Where are our fucking reinforcements? Bard panted. Came a signal, then everyone came to a halt. Nestra put her fist on her knees and breathed all she could and fucked the decorum. They already looked like a militia anyway, with patched up gear and surplus shit. And it wasn't like the users would take them seriously anyway. Alright, Stib, they're really opening that gate?
Trying. Might take a while. Not sure why, though.
Came grunted answer. Nestra sighed. It was obvious. They'll go through and find a place to hunker down since us baselines can't follow them in, she explained. We'll have no choice but to wait around, or have our own mana users go after them. They're hoping to leave in a day or so after we're gone. That's just stupid, Bard replied. Why not take us out now? Then they can disappear in the district before the Augs show up. His voice always felt so grating, always with the laid-back surfer persona, always whining about everything. TPD is overstretched, and they know that. They don't know there's only the 4 of us on their trail right now, though. Besides, it doesn't matter. They're charging the gate. Either we try stopping them, or we don't. Someone changed our orders while my back was turned? Camus's black gaze was fixed on Nestra. She shrugged. Only the faintest dark skin could be seen around the giant's bloodshot eyes. The rest was covered in nylon, Kevlar, and ceramics, probably older than he was. He was being a peasant. Nestra sustained the gaze. Any chance for Borgs? Park interrupted. The last and most quiet member of the team deflated the tension as he often did. Call them augmented humans, or Augs at least for real sake, and not now. We're it, as I said earlier. Now, Stib, show us the map around the portal.
Sure thing, boss.
The squad used a diverse assortment of ancient helmet visors to read the 3D map. It was a standard, abandoned hab block near the wall, population swallowed by one of the arcologies at least a decade before. The portal opened on a small courtyard, surrounded by shuttered small businesses. Nestra was starting to agree with Bard. Those users were morons. Place was far too open. Any Augs around would have spotted them from the sky, while only baselines would miss the mana vomited by the open portal. Much better to run and hope for the best.
I got an ID on one of them. The one who removed his mask. Jason Wong, D-Class. A record as long as my arm, but only small stuff. Oh, and the item they stole is inert. Confirmed by the Vix.
You sure?
Lenses used in surgery robots. Not enchanted.
Right, here is what we'll do. Bard and Ness take the front and wait for my signal. Park and I move to the side. Then, on my mark, you start apprehending. We move in while they look at you. Weapons free. Don't hesitate. Nestra caressed the hilt of her stun baton. The tool was custom-made, one of the gifts from her Aunt Claire. The habit soothed her nerves. It wasn't dying that worried her. It was the pain. She watched Park and Camus run to a side alley. Bard turned to her. She could see his amusement in the way his shoulder moved, as if he was containing a laugh. So, Palladian, wanna be the negotiator? Every time I talk, it seems to piss off the perps. For the last fucking time, use my call sign when we're on the field, and you piss off everybody, not just the perps. And that's because you're a cunt. How smooth, darling. You talk to them then.
Stib here, goons,
Nestra's earpiece said.
with the footage of our perps. Sending the feed now.
A window opened on Nestra's visor. It was placed on the upper right corner so as not to impede her vision. It showed a deserted hab square, littered with junk. Boarded up businesses lined it on every side. Dead neon signs hanging limply from rusting supports. Stairs led up to the living quarters in a uniform gray color of unpainted concrete. typical of quick jobs from just after the gates opened and survival became the highest priority. The only colors came from fading graffitis promoting long-dead gangs. 2 men standing before an empty arch, one facing it with arms extended, while the other fiddled with a control panel linked to the arch by a pair of heavy-duty cables. Nestra noted that the controls were ancient, resilient stuff made at the beginning of the incursion. Rich guilds used holographic interfaces nowadays. It was clear the one at the panel had no idea what he was doing. He had also discarded his face covering, a basic bandana, to reveal the handsome face of an Asian man with slick black hair and a frantic expression. His eyes shone with the inner light typical of low gleams. Jason Wong. By contrast, the other perp wore a plastic or ceramic white mask with fox features. His outfit was close-fitting, his boots made to run. As she watched, a blue light flickered in the center of the arch. "Looks like the portal's activating," she said.
Almost in position,
Camus said.
Okay, in position. Start the approach.
"Ladies first," Bard said with a smile. Nestra took the lead. Her heart did its best to escape her ribs with every step that brought her closer to the pair of users. She felt excitement as well, for a good fight. Envy. Mostly she felt envy. It bit at her chest with the cold acid of what-ifs. Soon, she was in one of the narrow corridors leading to the portal space. They were faced by Wong, while Fox Mask ignored their presence. "This is TPD, you are surrounded. Our users are on the way. Surrender now and do everyone a favor."
"No, I don't think so," Wong said. "You say Gleam Pigs are on the way? I say you're lying."
He sounded defiant and angry, a dangerous combination. Also meant he would be easier to distract. Fox Mask was an enigma, though. He was still focused on the gate. "Look, Wong, we've ID'd you. It's over one way or the other. Right now, you're just in for theft and fleeing and eluding. Nothing too serious. Just surrender, Jason, before it gets out of hand. Come on, you're a Gleam. You'll get a slap on the wrist," she replied, pointing at the heavy case leaning against the console Wong had been fiddling with. So that was the stolen property. Still intact, apparently.
"Slap on the wrist? Easy for you to say. You won't be sent to a dangerous gate risking life and limb every day. And for what? To feed the corporations. We're just cogs in the machine, man. It's all about the opium of the masses and the profits of the few, but not me. And I'm not bowing to sheltered dogs of the government."
Nestor gripped her baton so hard it hurt. One of those. She hated his type with a burning passion. Had to keep it together, though. "Not feeling like a sheltered dog right now, Jason. I'm actually tired and in pain. Look, you're a Gleam, okay? You can enter a portal and make 5 times as much as I do carrying minerals through mining gates 3 days a week. We're all cogs of society, you dolt. You want to do something about it? Run raids for charities, do politics, whatever. But here you are instead, committing theft, and not like of food or anything vital." Of course, Nestra's words set the Gleam off. A part of her knew it would. She just didn't care anymore.
"Bullshit! You're so naive. It's all rigged at the top, don't you see? Corpos and the mayor working together to keep us all down, man. Manufacturing content and dissent and everything. Just so we serve the masses instead of a worthy cause."
"Oh, you think you serve the masses, really? You see those arcologies behind me? Owned by high Gleams. Top scientists? Gleams. Traders? That's right, fuckface. No instant trading unless you got a mana signature. You are the least fucked out of all of us, and instead of doing something, you rant against the government while stealing fucking glasses like some bargain bin terrorist. Holy shit, I've never met a worse loser than you." Palladian? Calm down, Bard said. The hypocrite was having fun, and they both knew it. Nestra didn't give a shit. It felt good to let out the bottled anger, feel the poisoned relief course through her veins, knowing she might pay for it later. She pulled her lips back into a rictus only she could feel. Jason Wong's face was a fury-racked scowl. It felt good to reach him like that. "You bitch!" "Stop that," Foxmask said, and to Nestra's surprise, that was a female voice.
"I'm not going to stand there while these
They're nobodies. TPD baselines without a single combat augment between themselves. They're baiting you. Come and help me," Foxmask said, and there was a strain in her voice.
You know what? You don't give me orders. I'm not anyone's tool."
Electricity crackled down Wong's hand, gathering in his fist.
"Wong's a buzzer,"
Nestra said. Her anger fell down the drain, while the cold grasp of fear settled in her stomach.
That wasn't in the file.
Wong extended a finger towards Nestra, who brandished her baton. A bolt surged from there, much slower than true electricity. Moreover, it missed Nestra completely. Bard received the bolt on a heavy gauntlet as it spiked towards him. Energy traveled along an inner circuit of his armor, then to the ground. There was a fizzle near his knee, and he winced when the electric mana bit through tethered insulation. Piece of shit gear. And then, Wong charged.